Hello everybody and welcome to our studio show here on MXGP TV, where once again we're live from the circuit. This time it's round 8 of the FIA Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Germany at the Talkessel circuit here in Germany, just about, I don't know, 2 hours south of Berlin, something like that. We've got another great show for you lined up today. We've got Jago Geerts, fresh off of his podium in Latvia for Khmer Yamaha. Evgeny Bobryshev from Boss GP and team manager for the MX2 side of the Husqvarna squad at Rockstar Energy, Jackie Martins. But Lisa, here we are, back again in Germany. Round 8, not quite the halfway mark, but we're getting there.
It is going quickly, isn't it?
We're getting there.
Yeah, and I just, you know, someone pointed out it's the 23rd successive year that we've been here, including the Motocross of the Nations in 2013. So there's so much history around this track. And it always provides great racing as well. So
absolutely,
it's going to be a good one, isn't it?
And the guys out on track at the moment, the 125 last chance qualifying race. So we'll be able to see the progress on the screen just behind Jago. But let's introduce our first guest, and it's the first time for him on our studio show, so maybe a little nervous, but we'll try and make it a little easier for him. But Jago Geerts, welcome to our studio show first of all, and congratulations on your first podium last week in Latvia. Did it come as a surprise to find yourself on the podium so quickly, or is it something that you hoped would happen at some point during this year?
Yeah, of course. I hoped it would happen this year, but yeah, it was really quick already, the 7th round. So I'm really happy with the podium, and now I don't expect myself to podium every week, of course, but yeah, I do my best, and we will see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, was it more, I don't know, not expected, but as soon as we go to Latvia and we're in the sand, are you just already looking forward to riding somewhere like that?
Yeah, the track in Latvia is really good. I really like the track, and I won already 3 heats there in the EMX 125 and EMX 250, so it's a pretty good track for me. But yeah, it's now it's in the MX2 class, and it's a bit more difficult than in the European class.
Sure.
Well, you put together 2 solid motos, but perhaps the most impressive was that second moto. What was it like battling up front with Jorge and Thomas there for the lead?
Yeah, it was really nice. Got a really good start in 2nd place, and then just rode a good pace all heat. And yeah, at one point I could pedal for the lead, and it was really nice. Yeah.
And did the team tell you on the pit board that you'd made the podium, or did you already know?
No, they didn't tell me, but I thought I was 3rd really. But then after the race, my mechanic told me I was 2nd, and it was a really nice surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, all riders do it. You know, in the closing stages, if you make a good first race like you did, you're thinking, maybe it's podium, maybe, you know, we've seen it with your teammate a couple of times this year, Ben, where he just missed the podium and then he got the podium in Russia. I guess this is why you're still in school, isn't it? Just the mathematics.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, he's only still in school, final year in school.
Yes.
Yeah. How was school this week, by the way? Because I heard you took 1 extra day off on Tuesday.
Yeah, missed school on Tuesday.
Why was that?
Yeah, there was a problem with the flight. The plane had a technical issue. So
this is on Monday?
Yes, on Monday.
Okay.
And they brought a smaller plane to the airport, but not every passenger could go in, so we needed to stay 1 more night and then fly home next day.
Okay, and I heard the plane was cancelled in the morning and you had to fly in the afternoon, and just a long, long day.
Yeah, a really long day.
How frustrating. Well, just tell us, what is life like as an MX2 rookie? Because you are juggling school and your racing. Is that quite difficult to combine the 2?
Yeah, it's pretty difficult. Now the exams are coming again, so I have a couple hard weeks to go, but after that it will be much easier.
So when do you finish school officially? Because this kind of affects everything you're doing now, doesn't it? In MX2, it's your first year in the World Championship, but I guess you cannot train with Ben and before with Seva, and also with Jackie Vimond.
Yes.
But because you're full-time in school.
Yeah, I only can practice with the bike 1 time a week, only on Wednesday. It's difficult, but on the end of June I finish school, so then it will be much easier.
Yeah.
All right. What about Valkenswaard, though? We saw that you had a 4th place in one of the races there. So, you obviously like riding in the sand. You live 5 minutes from Lommel. But does it come easy to you riding the sand? Is that your most natural surface to ride on?
Yeah, I think so. I've been riding in the sand from the beginning. The hardback is also coming better and better, but the sand is still my favorite surface. And
when, I mean, we see you now getting on the podium after 7 GPs in MX2, it just happened to be in the sand. When you watch someone like Jeffrey Hurlings, for instance, why do you think he is so much better than everybody else in the sand? When you're watching on the side, what are you looking for? What is he doing differently that nobody else seems to be doing? Yeah, he also grew up in the sand, actually, and just his technique is amazing. It's really good, and that's why he's also really fast. Okay. And obviously, when you got that 4th place there in Valkenswaard, was that a nice boost in the confidence for you?
Yeah, it was a really nice race. Got a good start and finished 4th. Yeah. But then second heat crashed in the start, but still was a really nice weekend for me and a good confidence boost.
Good.
Okay, well, this weekend we're in Germany. You've never actually raced here before, have you, in Teufelstal?
No.
What was the track like for you in free practice?
Yeah, it was. I really liked the track, actually. It was already pretty rough for the first practice. But it's a nice track with many nice jumps and good ruts.
Have you been here before, though, to watch a race, or did you watch the Motocross of the Nations here in 13, for instance?
When I was, I think, 7 or 8 years old, I was here watching. Yeah. But after that, I've never been here.
Always looks different, doesn't it, on television?
Yeah.
And I remember I came and raced, did a bike test for a magazine one year. You watch it on TV, and you never really see exactly where the track goes until you get here. And it's quite an impressive track, and I guess it should be noisy this weekend because obviously Henry Jacobi is riding well, so it should help create a great atmosphere for everybody.
Yeah, I think so. I think the German crowd is pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Well, what are the goals for you then, really quickly? What would you hope to achieve over the rest of the year? Just to be in the top 10 overall?
Yeah, top 10 overall is a goal for me.
Okay. Yep. Well, I'm sure the way you're going at the moment, that'll be you know, achievable, shall we say.
Yeah,
of course, he already has a 85cc European Championship title to his name from Finland in 2014.
2014.
And then 2016 was FIM Junior 125 World Champion and European Champion in the same year. So he's on the rise, is Jago Geerts. Well, look, congratulations once again on your podium, and thanks for joining us here today. And all the best for the rest of the season.
Thanks, Jago.
Jago Geerts. Right, our next guest is ready to meet us. That's Evgeny Bobryshev. Before we meet him, though, let's check out what happened a week ago. Here's some highlights from MX2 Race 2 in Latvia.
MX2 Race 2, Jorge Prado out of the gate like a scolded cat. This time making no mistakes. It was he who grabbed his 7th foxhole shot of the season. His teammate made another poor start, just like he did in the qualifying race. But Prado wasn't too concerned about that. The two Khmer Yamahas of Geerts and Watson were right up there as well in 2nd and 3rd. Thomas Kjær Olsen was 4th on his Rockstar Energy Husqvarna as the Red Bull KTM, the #1, the defending champion and points leader, Paul Jonas, carved his way through the field. He had a lot of work to do, though. That move on Laranaga got him just outside the top 10 as the F&H Kawasaki continued to rub bars. With Jonas, the number 70 of Ruben Fernandez looked over his shoulder. Eventually, Jonas went through. All of a sudden, he was inside the top 10 as Watson briefly found his way past his teammate into 2nd and then lost it almost immediately, and that lost his rhythm and broke his concentration as Thomas Kjær Olsen filed his way through. His teammate, though, Covington, was on the deck after colliding with Jed Beaton. Thomas Kjær Olsen carved his way into 2nd with that move on Jago Geerts, who then almost fell, but managed to stay upright in 3rd place, and he was on course for a first ever podium. As Prado lost concentration and fell, he did manage to retain the lead, though, but all of a sudden, the top 3 were side by side. Paul Jonas carved his way past Calvin Verlanderen from HRC to go 6th, and 2 or 3 laps later made the move on David Puchis to go to 5th, and that's where he would stay, and that would also be good enough to get on the podium at his home round. Under pressure, though, Jorge Prado closely followed by Thomas Kjær and Jago Geerts, but the Spaniard hung on to win the second race. It wasn't enough to get him on the podium, though. Instead, it was Thomas Kjær with his second Grand Prix victory of his career. The first one came here just 12 months ago. Also on the podium, second overall, Jago Geerts. Jonas was third. And Porsche Jonas now extends his lead to 22 over his teammate Prado. Thomas Kjær just 16 points further back in third. But what a fantastic weekend for Jago Geerts on the podium for the first time in MX2.
Well, that was Latvia just a week ago, round 7. We're round 8 now of the FIA Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Germany, here at the Talkessel circuit, Teushenthal. And our second guest is now in place, Mr. Evgeny Bobryshev. Rides for Boss GP, brand new team in the paddock, and yeah, former factory rider. But Evgeny, welcome to our studio show here on MXGP TV. How is life at Boss GP? Like we said, it's a brand new team. How are you settling in? How much influence did your mechanic, Dominic, have on you and your decision to race there in 2018?
Yeah, like it's everything's new and everything been late. I mean, everything starts late. The building the team and like I've been really happy that Dominic is working there. We have been together like for more than 4 years. So I know him really well. So for me, it was a bit easy to get in the team. Now we still like working on my confidence, working on overall setup of the teams, and then try to improve the results every race.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, you mentioned you had 4 years with Dominic, but how many years did you have with Honda before you joined Boss now? Because obviously there's a change from Honda machinery to Suzuki. How different is it for you personally to adapt to a new motorcycle from red to yellow?
It's been 8 years on Honda on the red machine, so for sure it's not so easy to get on another bike, and especially in really short period before the season. Like I said, everything is began in January for me, riding and training and testing the bike. So it's a bit tough still now. So, but I'm getting better. Suzuki is a good bike, good chassis, and so we improving. We're improving to jump another level and to get up more front. Yeah.
Well, your best result this year so far was in Portugal. Both races inside the top 10, 8th overall. Is that a good result for the team, or is there more to come?
Oh, for sure there is more to come. Like for sure it's good for the team, and I have done good start over there. Like it's been easy for me to stay in top 10. Yeah. But for sure I want more. For sure, definitely I want more, and we're working on it, and I've been quite happy, with that results, but it's not that what I want.
Yeah, I mean, you were mixing. This was a time that the GP. It was, like I say, your best results of the year so far. Did it feel good to be in at the sharp end again? Towards the front, having good battles with factory riders like Glenn Koldenhoff?
Yeah, it does. It's always, it's like nice to ride up front and making good starts really good. This makes the easy racing. And till now, it's unfortunately I couldn't make a good start. Always out of top 10, so I have to really pedal through the pack. But like Portugal was a good weekend for me, and track was really nice, and I had good battle as you can see.
Sure.
Okay, well, for those who don't know, Boss is actually a suspension company, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they're not just involved in motocross.
No, they do WRC. And mountain bike.
Yeah.
And motocross. So.
And I was talking to Dominic, and he was saying, and this was in Russia, he was saying they've got quite a few world titles already as well with downhill and mountain bike. So it's quite a well-known brand, but just not as well-known in motocross, I guess. Even though it has been around. Livia was running it, for instance, and I think Stephen Lenoir was running Boss before.
Yeah, it is. Like, they don't have so many experience, especially in MXGP in the motocross, so they have done really, really good results, WRC and mountain bike. And but you know, it's a big factory. The guys are really clever, so they can build what you want. It's just the time to get everything right on the bike and on the track, because as every weekend is different, so it's not so easy to find what you need in 1 month, I would say.
Sure. Well, look, more from Evgeny in a moment. Ever wondered how you can stay in touch with everything happening at MXGP? Well, here's how. Don't forget, if you are new to MXGP or you know somebody else who might be, then why not check out our social media channels to ensure that you don't miss a single thing from the FIM Motocross World Championship.
Absolutely. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, as well as Facebook, where you can also watch the live MXGP TV studio show on Saturday at each round of the series. And don't forget, if you post your questions on our studio guests via social media, we will ask them on your behalf, so sure to keep up to date. We wouldn't want you to miss a single thing. And we love having all the questions come through as well,
exactly,
don't we?
Yeah. I mean, we were inundated with questions this weekend.
We were. We
absolutely
were.
Loaded with them. So if you want to get your questions in at Matterley Basin, then you know where to go. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. Evgeny, back to our guest here. The Boss GP team is quite unique, isn't it? In the fact that you're riding Suzuki, and when your teammate comes back, Jordi Tixier, he's going to be riding KTM. Yeah. How does that even work? And I guess the only common thing really is the fact that you're using the same suspension, but you're under the same umbrella.
Yeah, you mean like why we're using different brands?
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
It's a bit like confusing story. Like you know that I have 2 contracts with England.
Yes.
And with like World Championships.
So you're already riding Suzuki at home in England, and then
that's right. Yeah. So we get support from Suzuki, and now we're working on it like with Oliver, team boss. You know, he's keeping in contact with Suzuki. They're moving a little slowly forward. They might help maybe in the future. So that would be really good for us. And then it would be really nice if we could bring back Suzuki to MXGP, you know, that would be really, really nice. Cool.
Okay, well, as we're in Teufelstal, we thought we'd take a little trip down memory lane with you. We're going to show you a clip, this clip from 2011. What do you remember about this GP?
Yeah, for sure.
This was the second race,
definitely, yeah. It's the last lap, yeah.
And what was going through your head at this point, apart from Tony's front wheel?
I don't remember.
No, but exciting day for you.
It's Lorenzo now, like, look at him.
Just he comes over the line, huh? But what do you remember about that day?
That I had a good glass of champagne after the second motor, and then wow. like it was something special. As been like 30 years after myself who won the GP as a big cup, so I had a good moment here, so definitely big memory, and good memory, and then bad memory also last year with my broken collarbone, you know. So,
but okay, this was your only Grand Prix win to date at the moment, but very special moment. You said you had a nice glass of champagne afterwards. Do you still think about that day at all, or is it only when you come here and maybe the memories come back, or you just don't think about it at all?
No, for sure. Some days I am thinking about it. Like it's nice, it's good memory. Like, and you good feeling giving to you. But like it's another year, another weekend. So you're just coming and then concentrating on what you have, and then try to make best of it. But for sure, I'm trying to get best results and to do best.
Well, at least you can say you've won a GP anyway at the highest level and beat some of the best riders in the world. One of them is a 9-time world champion now. But Evgeny Bobryshev, thanks for joining us here on our MXGP TV studio show. Good luck for the rest of the season and this weekend, of course. Our third guest is in position, Jackie Martins. Let's hear from him in a moment. But before we do, here's highlights from the Latvian Grand Prix a week ago, MXGP Race 2.
There were a few anxious faces on the riders from MXGP because they knew it was going to be a tough second race here at Kegums. Jeffrey Hurlings, another poor start for him, but it was his teammate alongside Romain Febvre, the Frenchman, being classified as the Fox Holeshot winner for the second time this year. Paulin was around about 6th place, and just behind Romain Febvre, and the two would touch halfway around the first lap. Febvre went down. He picked himself up in 20th position and started his charge through the field. As Cairoli went by his teammate Koldenhoff and into the lead. The tough circuit started to catch out one or two riders. With the KTMs up front, all eyes were on Jeffrey Herlings as he started to carve his way through the field once more. Paulin tried desperately to hang on to 4th place, but Jeffrey Herlings charged up the inside of the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna and was quickly onto the rear wheel of Tim Geiser and pushing for 3rd. A move around the outside saw the Dutchman pass the Slovenian. He then went after his teammate, and at that stage of the race it was a KTM 1-2-3. But that didn't last long either. Herlings quickly displaced his teammate, moved into 2nd, and went after the 222, Tony Cairoli, who was by now around 10 seconds clear of his teammate. Roman Febvre crashed out hard. He tagged wheels with Arminas Jasikonis. It was an awkward landing for the former world champ. He picked himself up, would not rejoin the race, as Jose Boutron charged up the inside of Julian Lieber, put the Belgian on the deck. Lieber would come home in 10th. In the closing stages, Jeffrey Herlings, though, got himself onto the rear wheel of his teammate once more. And the 2 Red Bull KTMs battled until they hit traffic. Cairoli got caught behind Erkki Caro as Herlings sailed by into the lead. And for the last 6 or 7 laps is where he stayed. Meanwhile, the battle for 3rd was being jostled and duked out between Geiser and Paulin, and eventually it was Paulin that went through, shortly followed soon after by de Saal, but de Saal spun out almost as quickly as he'd found his way past the Slovenian. Geiser would come home 4th, de Saal 5th, but Herlings made it a superb double moto victory here in Latvia. Cairoli was 2nd, Paulin was 3rd, and the result in race 2 the same as the overall classification here. Herlings, though, extends his lead now to 29 over Tony Cairoli. De Saal is 63 points further back. Paulin now in 5th, just 5 behind Roman Febvre.
Welcome back to our final part in our MXGP TV studio show here, round 8 of the FIA Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Germany. Our final guest is in the studio, Mr. Jackie Martins, former world champion, of course, in the 500cc class, and now team manager at Rockstar Energy Husqvarna in the MX2 category. Jackie, before we start talking about your season and the riders in your team, it's round 8. What have you made so far of the MX2 championship so far, and has anybody surprised you so far this year?
Yeah, it feels like the season is already long. Yeah. And because the overseas GPs and yeah, the schedule is quite heavy, but yeah, we still are involved and the time is running, and you know it goes quickly. Sometimes you don't feel it, but for me what the good riders what I see now is Beaton and Geerts. Yeah, those 2 I think they make the biggest step this year.
It already seems...
Even Watson also, sorry.
Yeah. Also been on the podium. It already seems a long time ago since the first GB in Patagonia. But what about Thomas? He showed great speed in the first round, 3 podiums in the first 3 races as well. Seems like he's added consistency to his program this year. He must be pretty pleased about that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we see Thomas as a diesel. Yeah. He's coming only better and better and better, and he's so focused and so professional to his job. And he never, I think, give the maximum. Yeah. He only is focused on do better, don't be injured. And yeah, when like on Sunday, he felt himself like very happy. He's always happy, but I mean, he feel really good. And then he can do what he, yeah, I think the limit is almost, there is no limit. Sure. And then he does nice things. And yeah, like I said, it's a diesel, and I think he's coming only better and better. Sure.
Absolutely, and in fact, he's only finished off the podium twice this year, hasn't he? And last weekend in Latvia, he did exactly what he did last year in Latvia, and he won the GP.
Yes, he's...
I mean, everyone was talking about the track being in the opposite direction, but it didn't really affect him at all. He was there, fully focused, didn't worry about what happened last year, and we see him on the podium again, winning for you guys. Another great weekend for him.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, he likes the track, and everything what he did was also good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first heat he had a whole shot, and yeah, that the first time this year, and that's for him it was an experience. Yeah, that's how easy it can be, you know, like. Sure. And the second heat, yeah, it was he came from I think 8th.
Yeah.
And he still make it to second, and yeah, it was really
I was talking to Rasmus last night, his trainer, and he was saying that he actually made a mistake and lost maybe 2 seconds, so he could have pushed for the win in the end of the race. We never saw that.
Yeah, he make small mistakes and of a small mistake, but yeah, he was pushing that hard, and on the waves he was almost he pushed so hard that he makes himself in trouble.
Yeah.
But still he made it. My heart was like, come on. I was like, please don't crash. But still, yeah, he made it and he won the race.
Well, as a team manager for you, what's the most impressive part of TKO's performance? Is it his starts? Is it the race win, or is it just his pure desire that he has?
Yeah, TKO is, like I said, he's so focused on every small single thing. And Rasmus, with him and Rasmus, the trainer, they feel each other so good. And yeah, he wants to do only better and better. And for him, like I said, even as a team, finally it's difficult to find the trust. But if he trusts you, yeah, he tells you everything, and he wants only do better and better. And now also with testing, he wants to improve. And when he feels this is it for this moment, he keeps like this, and then it takes a little bit. And yeah, but it's nice to work with him.
Well, in the championship, it's closer than it was last year. 38 points between first and third, and Thomas is only 16 points behind Jorge Prado in second. It's really close. It's difficult to kind of predict anything at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. It's but yeah, TKO had some yeah, like I said, some
Trentino.
Yeah, Trentino and this kind of races gives him a little bit. He lost some space, but yeah, he still believes, and I think now the season starts.
Cool.
Because we have 20 GPs, and it's nice to be in the winter time, like winning races. And but for me, the season starts now, and I hope we can finish till end of the season. That's why, like I said, we start slowly, no injuries, and yeah, keep building up.
And what about Thomas Covington? How would you describe his season at the moment?
Yeah, Thomas, he got you know, the operation on the knee in the winter time. He performs quick. The injury, yeah, like normally he can ride only end of January, but he trained so hard that the knee was strong enough from Dr. Klaas to say, okay, now you can start. You start working and riding the bike. And half of January he was on the bike, what was actually good, but for sure you still need some confidence to come out of the injury, yeah, how you say, feeling. And finally in Italy he finds his confidence, and then it starts really good. He improves, and in the week he was nice and happy. And then in Portugal, he made again, he twisted his knee again.
Sure.
And on the first place, but yeah, then we start over.
Yeah.
And now he's doing, actually with a broken ACL, he come back, and that's really nice from TC. You know, he worked hard. And
well, you mentioned Italy. As a team manager, how impressed were you with his performance in Trentino, especially in that second race when he passed Prado to win it on that final lap?
For me, it was like a victory. You know, like. He did so well, and he know he can do it, but like I said, the confidence was not there. And actually then with the mechanics, what they show him on the pit board from, hey, you can do it now, it's your time, breathe and go for it. And he did it, and it happens, and then for sure, yeah, then nothing can go wrong.
Yeah, we got the pass here, just maybe 5 corners from the finish.
Yes.
But he put in a really great performance, didn't he? And it was almost like when he passed Jeremy Seawer in Sweden last year, except in Sweden he passed him in the final corner and to take that race win. But
that's what we told him before. I said, hey, remember Sweden, you have to do it again. And that's
Well, look, that got him second overall, and obviously shortly after that he injured his knee in Portugal again, but he is still riding. You know, all the best for you and the rest of the team. Thanks for coming in today. We are out of time.
Yeah.
But thank you to Jackie, to Evgeny Bobryshev, and also Jago Geerts. We wish everybody the best of luck here today and this weekend in Germany. The qualifying races are coming up later on today. 4:25 for MX2 and 5:10 for MXGP, and all the races live on MXGP TV tomorrow, of course. We'll see you then for that, but in 2 weeks' time we're back. Matchley Basin.
Yep.
Can't wait. Home round coming up. See you then. Bye for now.